A says A if one of the next two letters is another vowel. If one of the next two letters is not another vowel, A says A. AI says A, like rain or aim, but that usually comes in the beginning and middle of short words. Or you might see A consonant, final silent E, and that usually comes at the end of longer words. You might see an A at the very end, like banana. When you do, that A says banana, America, China, Alexa, Angelica, Alexandra, right? I'm looking at your names here. If it ends with an A, that A says If you hear at the end, you spell it with an A. You might also see A at the very beginning of a word. And if you do, if you see an A at the very beginning and there's a vowel tutors down, then you're going to spell that sound with an A. I don't know if I said that right. If you hear at the very front of a word and you can see that there's a vowel tutors down, you're going to spell that sound with an A, like away, ago, adore. Those all have an A at the beginning. Yeah, this is our second review. Okay, and you have learned, okay, last thing, nope, two more things that you have learned. When A is almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it, that A changes to the schwa sound and says right? When there's an A almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it, the A says And then the last thing you learned is that AY at the end says A. Day, bay, may, say, today, Monday. If you hear A at the end, don't spell it with an A because that says spell it with an AY. Now, look at all you've learned in 1 month. I have a feeling that when I was just saying that just then, you were able to almost finish my words. You were almost you just knew what I was going to say, didn't you? You're like, this sounds familiar. Isn't that amazing? Because you didn't know that a few weeks ago. And now you do. You know it so well that you can finish my sentences. So that knowledge is in your brain for the rest of your life. But let's really solidify it, make sure we know it. One last review, and then we're going to go on to a new vowel next month. So let me share my screen. Checking the chat again. All right, my friends, here we go. We're going to do this together. Do you have your papers ready? Our first word is AIF. AIF. And it might be hard to know if I'm saying an F or a TH because of the mic and you're not able to see my mouth very clearly. But my tongue isn't going between my teeth. I'm not saying that's a TH. I'm not saying that. My top teeth are going over my bottom lip and I'm blowing. That's an F, just as a hint. So our sounds are A, F. Let's put our consonants first. That's the sound that I want at the end. Now for the A sound, I can choose an A, an AI, an A consonant final silent E, an AY. All of those things say A. So how am I supposed to know? Well, you know, don't you? We always try an A first. Can an A say A in that spot? Nope, it can't, because in order for that to say A, it has to have another vowel in the next one or two spots. If it doesn't have one, make one. This one is what we use for the beginning and middle of short words. Okay? Your word is aish. Aish. Go ahead and put it in the chat for me. Yeah, so if you're wondering if it's an A right here or an AI, which one of these would allow that A to say A? A has to have another vowel in the next one or two spots in order for it to say A, right? There we go. Okay, so our consonants are Shh, just one consonant sound, just one. Even though there's two letters, it's only one sound. That's why it gets one line. So when you're making lines, make sure that you only underline sounds, not letters, because sometimes more than one letter can make one sound. And we're not spelling letters, we're spelling sounds. So we're underlining the sounds that we're spelling. And then for the A sound here, can I use just a regular old A? I can't, because if A has two consonants after it, it says ah, and that would say ash. I don't want ash, I want aish. In order for that to say A, it has to have another vowel in the next one or two spots. If there's not one, make one. This is the one we use for the beginning and middle of short words. Beautiful. Number 2. Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right, number 2, I want, let me just remind you, because I want to set you up for success. This is for the beginning and middle of short words, if you need the A sound. This is for the beginning and middle of, no, it's for the end of longer words. This is for the beginning and middle. This is for the end. Okay, take a good look at this. This is A consonant final silent E because I'm about to erase it, but it may or may not be a hint for your next word. Here comes the erasing. Here comes the erasing. Some of you are like, oh no, I didn't pay attention. Okay, your word is do you remember what letter spells that sound when there's another vowel two doors down? Mape. A mape. So we have a, p. For the consonants, good. We have a, a, p. Now our vowel sounds. For the sound, if it's at the very beginning and there's a vowel two doors down, we spell it with an A, right? That A changes to the schwa sound and says in that situation. When it's here at the front and it has another vowel neighbor two doors away, it says Now for this A sound, am I going to choose an AI or an A consonant final silent E? Well, this one is for short words in the beginning and middle. I mean, this does qualify for the middle, but it's actually a longer word because there's two vowels that don't touch. That qualifies as a longer word. Short words are only one vowel. Longer words have more than one vowel that don't touch, so that's this guy. A consonant final silent E. That final silent E is going to be his ticket to saying A right there. So there's a mape. Well done if you got it, and well done if you almost got it, and well done if you got it, if you understood it after I explained it. Bravo. Okay, your word that I would like for you to try on your own is a tame. A tame. Go ahead. A tame. All right, see, you're getting it. Well done. A tame. Good. So that AI is for short words. Short words have only one vowel. Yeah, you are. A tame. A tame. Okay, consonants. We have a, t, a, Vowel sound. What's going to spell the sound right here when there's another vowel two doors down? An A. A says when it's at the front and he has another vowel neighbor two doors away. And then for the A sound at the end of a longer word means that there are two vowels that don't touch. We use an A consonant final silent E. There's a tame. Nice. You guys are so good at this. All right, let's try. Do you remember what says at the end of a word? It's not a U. You remember, right? Yeah, it's an A. So be thinking about that on this next word. Your word is spanta. Spanta. Well, it's our word together. Sp, a, n, t, a. Consonants. Sp, a, n, t, a. Vowels. A is the only letter that can say a. So that's nice. That's handy to know, right? If you hear a, you're going to spell it with an A. You just have to make sure that there's two consonants after it. And there are, so it can say a just fine. If there wasn't, like let's say the word was spata, you would have to put two T's right here. But since we have that N sound, nothing else is needed. And then for the sound at the end, that's spelled with an A. That's spelled with an A. Spanta. Okay, let's try yours. Your word is drampa. Drampa. That was just autocorrect. I know that was just autocorrect. I know that you figured that out. Okay, your word is drampa. Drampa. D-r-a-m-p-a. And sometimes people are talking to me in the chat, so I talk to them back, but you might be wondering, what are we talking about? Somebody put a word in the chat to spell Spanta, but it was autocorrected to something else. Drampa. Drampa. Nice. Drampa. 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 Excellent. Okay, consonants. We have d, r, a, m, p, a. For the a sound, A is the only letter that can spell that sound. As long as there are two consonants after it, it can say a just fine. So it's golden right there. For the sound at the end, that's spelled with an A. Always, always, always. There's drampa. Now, what if I wanted the word drappa? What if I wanted drappa? Could I leave it just like this? Nope, because that A now has a vowel in the next one or two spots, which would force that A to say A, and that would say drapa. Yeah, you have to put two P's there in that case, don't you? You look at how good you can spell. Look at how much you know about spelling. Amazing. You are amazing. Okay, your next word is, okay, just another reminder. I always want to set you up for success. So when you hear toward the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it, you're going to spell it with a. Sometimes it'll be an O, but we'll get there in O month. For today in this lesson, it's that sound toward the end of a longer word is going to be spelled with an So our word is asantum. A, s, a, n, t, a, m. Consonants. A, s, a, n, t, a, m. Vowels. Is going to be spelled with an A when there's a vowel two doors down. There's our A. A is going to be spelled with an A as long as there are two consonants after it, which there are, so we're golden. And then here's that that's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it. It's also spelled with an A. So, wait a minute, this is a schwa. So this says and this says but for two different reasons, right? The reason that this guy says is because he's at the front and there's a vowel two doors down. And the reason why this guy says is because he's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it. And now you know that. Nobody else in the world knows that, you guys. Nobody else knows that. You are so filled up of knowledge now. You're going to be bursting out of the ears. Your brain is going to be bursting out your ears. You're going to get so much knowledge. Okay, I want your word to be a pandum. A pandum. Go ahead. A, p, a, n. My mouth is open there in the middle, not closed. A pan, that's an N. I'm just going to tell you. D, a, m. A pandum. A pandum. Don't worry, you'll get it. A pandum. A pandum. We are spelling a pandum. We are spelling a pandum. Oh, why is address like that? Such a good. That's a good question. I'm so glad you asked that. Very good. Okay, so consonants. A, p, a, n, d, a, m. Vowels. A. When you hear a at the very beginning, and there's another vowel 2 doors down, which we can see there is right there because we've dotted it. You spell that first a sound with an a. That makes the schwa sound. It says a. This a is going to spell the a sound right there because there are 2 consonants after it. And this is also spelled with an a because it's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it. Now, I had an excellent question in the chat. Why doesn't address say address? It can say address, but this a is typically going to make its short sound a because of those 2 consonants after it right there. Address. Like, what is your address? Good question. Oh, attack is just a rule breaker. But it might also be because those 2 T's are making just one sound. So there might be technically another vowel 2 doors down. I love how you guys are thinking. Oh, I don't know about that one. You got me on attract. I think I kind of know. I think it has to do with the language of origin on that one. But I'm going to do some digging. I love your questions. What else you got? How do you say, okay. How do you say this word? I say it with an short O sound right there. Pecan. Pecan. I have a feeling that's a word from a different language, which is why that A says ah. My cat, oh, I've shut the door. I've shut him out. I'm surprised we don't hear him crying because he always has to be right next to me all day long. All right, last one before I have to let you go. I want you to say I want you to spell the word. Remember how to spell the A sound at the end. It's not with an A, it's with an AY. But I didn't say that. You didn't hear that from me. Okay, your word is may pay. May pay. Oh, also, AY is only saved for the end of words, not the middle. May pay, but you didn't hear that from me. A, P, A. May pay. May pay. May pay. Oh, that's a good try. That is a good try. I like how you're thinking. All right, a lot of kids are wondering, is it an A or is it an AI right here? Let's figure it out. So our consonants are A, P, A. Now for this first A sound, what do we use, an A or an AI? Well, you always start with a single letter, and if it works, stop, you're done. So a single letter, a single A can say A here because there's already a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. So we don't have to add one. Do you see how that works? If a single letter already has a vowel 1 or 2 doors away, it can already say A. You don't have to put an AI there because that I isn't even needed. His little vowel friend is already right there. And then for the A sound at the end, we put an AY. May pay. How did you do? How did you do on May pay? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Did you get it a Y for a yes or an A for an almost? That's pretty good. You guys crack me up. That is so good. Look at all the yeses and some A's for almost. That's still an A minus, you guys. It's either a B plus or an A minus. I bet you were so close. Yeah, as long as you are getting it when I explain it, that's the most important thing. Then your brain is going, okay, I understand, and it will be in a better place to spell it correctly the next time. All right, you have learned a lot about A. You've learned that A says A when the next 2 letters are another vowel, one of them. You've learned that it says A if not. AI says A. AY says A. A at the beginning and end say if at the beginning if there's a vowel 2 doors down, at the end if it's almost to the end and there's a consonant after it, right? And you've learned that. I think that's it. Did I miss something? Oh, Yeah, I think I got it all. Look at all that you've learned. That knowledge is in your head forever. You get to keep that. That knowledge that you now know, it's yours. You get to keep it. It's in your brain now. We're going to keep practicing, but next month we're going to attack a new vowel. Stay with me for a few months though, because at the end of the year, we're going to wrap and use all of the vowels, all of the things, remembering what we've all learned the entire time at the end. All right, my friends, you're amazing. Have a good night. See you next time. Bye, everybody.